Alright, what's up goblins? How are you doing today? So, this isn't a normal Let's Play video. You're probably wondering, Scully, not another one of these videos. They fucking sucked the last time. Well, I'm gonna let you goblins know. I thought these out for a long time now. If you read the title of the video, you read correctly. This is what I think the next Mass Effect story will be. Now, I thought of countless stories what they could do. Ooh, I even watched other YouTubers come up with like theories and that. Saw some more theories and that. I really should have paid attention to what the YouTubers' names were. Fuck. Alright, so before we get into like what I think the next story will be, I'd like to let you goblins know, if you are new to Mass Effect, the remastered Legendary Edition is coming out of the original trilogy. And why the hell not? I recommend going to play Mass Effect Andromeda as well to familiarize yourself with like the trilogy and also this Andromeda game. That way you know what you're getting into. Now, while we're waiting to load into the game, I guess I should talk about what I think the next story will be. At least the first one. So, goblins. In the trailer, I almost said trilogy, fuck, sorry about that. So, in the trailer, for, like, the Mass Effect will continue, we start off at the Andromeda system, and it shows us leaving that system and heading back to the Milky Way. Now, that originally made me think of, oh, we are going to be taking place in a new game in the Milky Way. It'll probably be like us making a new character, like picking like the backstories like we did in the first Mass Effect game. That's actually one of the reasons why I like the Mass Effect games. So I got to pick my Shepard's like backstory. However, I didn't get to make it my own. Well, I did, but you goblins get what I mean, and you regular folk do too. So where was I? Oh yeah, so we see basically a lot of stuff of like fly by us, like wreckage, other stuff. We hear the Reaper's noise, and we also hear something about the arcs. Now you might be wondering, Scully, what do you mean arcs? If you are new to the channel, well, the arcs are the things you travel to Andromeda in Mass Effect Andromeda. We hear about like the 6th arc being launched or something, which, in my opinion, is very interesting. I thought there was only 5, I ain't gonna lie. But, yeah. So where was I? Oh yeah, here we go. So, I think the next Mass Effect game, and yes, I am talking about the game now, will be taking place in the Milky Way. But here's what I think is gonna happen. I think they're gonna make it so one of the endings from the second game is canon.
Deploying forward station.
Now, I don't think the third ending where you basically merge like tech and people together is going to be canon, and I'll explain to you goblins why. So, let's see.
Mining zones have been added to your nav system.
Let's get away from these hostiles and that real quick. Up here should be good. I gotta remember to make a Let's Play episode after this. Alright, where was I? Alright. So, I think for the first story, they might go with, like, something that is... How do I put this? They might make it so... one of the endings are canon. Now, I'm thinking the one ending that will be canon is either the Destroy ending or the Control ending. And you might be wondering, Scully, why are you thinking the Control ending would be canon or the Destroy ending? Well, a lot of people choose to destroy the Reapers instead of, like, control them. Me being one of them. And I only picked that merge thing afterwards, but the actual ending I liked was Control, but I hated the fact I ended up, like, killing Shepard in the process. Hence the reason I usually stuck with, like, the Destroy ending. Excuse me for one moment. Just gonna take care of this big guy real quick. There we go. Now, There was this guy on YouTube. I don't remember the guy's name. It was like the first time I ever watched one of his videos, I think. He mentioned like how he thinks the Control ending would be canon, and basically people would actually are coming from Andromeda. Basically, like Angaran and regular people found a way to leave the Andromeda galaxy and are coming back. They're being chased by either like the Ket or the Jordan. Is that what the Remnant?
Nice work.
I'll just call them the Remnant, like the Remnant, like species, like returning or that. Me personally, I think it might actually be a Reaper. Now you might be wondering, Scully, what the hell are you talking about? Oh, the Reapers are dead. But what if not all of them are dead? Now you might be wondering, Scully, again, what the hell are you talking about? Well, the Ark, or that Quarian Ark, is being attacked by something. Now, my first thought was, okay, it might be the Ket. After watching some videos, loads of people started thinking it was a Reaper, so I thought, okay, maybe it's a Reaper. I think it's either Ket, Reaper, the Remnant returning, or something else, something that is a lot worse. Now, I know the Reapers would be like a hard bad guy to like replace in that, and like loads of people would say, oh no, don't Reapers back by making it so one survives, but what if like a Reaper ship, now just hear me out, actually made its way to the Andromeda galaxy, was attacking the Quarian Ark, started to indoctrinate them, only to be brain dead afterwards, due to the Reapers either being destroyed or being taken over, to which the Reaper would then leave the Ark and actually head back. I'm just fucking it with you. That's not the thing I'm going with. So what I think is actually going to happen is that they're going to encounter like somebody who's like, I guess, a survivor from the Remnant race, and basically was planning on like, I guess, taking the Ark so they could study the species. Kind of like how like the Ket are, but it's going to be a major bad guy from the Andromeda galaxy who chases the people from the Milky Way who went to the Andromeda galaxy back to the Milky Way. Now, I imagine in that little scenario, Ryder would be the main character. However, there was this one guy, and it's the same guy who basically was talking about like how, oh, the Andromeda galaxy, like people go back to Milky Way. Basically, fuck, how do I explain this? Basically, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the Control ending would be canon, and just like this other guy, but this is just the one scenario. Basically, you come back trying to escape something that chases you guys back to like the Milky Way. You're playing as one of the Ryder twins again. And I imagine basically once you get there, the Milky Way would be like having its own troubles. You basically had to solve some stuff and basically get help in that. And I imagine you would actually have to find the Shepherd AI. Kind of like how the guy in that YouTube thing said the Shepherd AI. I basically do agree. That would actually make a good story, but I haven't thought that one wholly out. The second one is, we're not being like involved with the Andromeda galaxy at all. The second one is more of a, if they destroyed the Reapers. I think the next villain would be the one who was basically the first Reaper, the Leviathans. Now, I know there's videos out there where they say the Leviathans are going to be the next bad guy. I know, ironic, but just hear me out. In like that one DLC, you speak to a Leviathan, and then you see that there is actually more than one, and hiding on that water planet. Now, hear me out. What if, after the Reapers are dealt with, after humanity and the other species start to rebuild, the Leviathans started the plot to actually take over the galaxy. Make it so that humans and the other Milky Way species were their thralls. Basically, people who work for them, and that sort of thing. Now, I imagine the Leviathans wouldn't, like, all be on board for that. Now, you might be wondering, Scully, why are you saying stuff that sounds kinda shit like stories? Well, I'm only telling you goblins the two I haven't fully thought out, and then the two that I have thought out. And you might be wondering, and Scully, what are the two you have thought out? I'm getting to that. So, I think the Leviathans would be the, like, one of the major bad guys. Now, you might be wondering, Scully, what do you mean one of the major bad guys? Well, you goblins forget. There's other races in the game who might actually end up becoming bad guys. Or maybe it's like a person who went rogue, basically, kind of like how Saren did in the first game. Actually, I think it's more explained in the comics. But, yeah, that's scenario 2. Now, the third scenario is actually one I thought heavily about. And this one is ignoring Mass Effect Andromeda, it's ignoring the Leviathans, and basically other stuff. Now, this next one is basically, I guess you'd call it like a civil war happening like in the Milky Way. Now, you might be wondering, Scully, what the hell are you talking about? Well, think about it. The Citadel was pretty much, I think when the arms was destroyed on the thing? I don't remember fully. I haven't played the game in a while. But basically, mass relays are destroyed. Like, the government for the entire, like, Milky Way is pretty much fucked over. Or people are trying to rebuild. Oh, there is, like, peace in that, but there's also chaos. Basically, what I think would happen in, like, the next game, and this is the third scenario now, I think people are trying to rebuild. Now, in Mass Effect Andromeda, you are a pathfinder and you basically go around, like, discovering outpost areas in that. Well, you're just reviving, like, the planet in that. You're not actually choosing where you get to put the outpost. You have to actually put it in a pre-selected spot, which actually kind of sucks in my opinion. Because you can't decide what the outpost, like, looks like, and you only get to decide what it is on one planet. You can decide military or scientific. Shame you couldn't do that for, like, the other outposts as well. Like, make it so, like, hey, on this planet, military. Hey, on this planet, science. But they didn't go with that. So, what I think is there will be, like, a civil war happening. And you're basically either going to be playing as a human, like a generic human, or perhaps they could actually make it so you play as one of the other races. Like, say, a Turian, a Sari, a Solarian. Hell, maybe even a Krogan, and a Quarian. And basically, I hope in the next game they make it so you can play as one of the other races, but let's stick for a human for now. Let's say the next character is somebody you build from scratch. Basically, you are learning about their backstory, that sort of thing. You're basically picking it out, and you're hearing the Alliance military again, or whatever military you join. Like, let's say there's an Alliance military, and then there's, like, these two new militaries who want to actually, basically, I guess, one wants to control the galaxy, and the other one just wants to, like, set up colonies and try to make it so, like, the people find their own way, make their own, like, governments and that. Let's say that you join, like, one of these groups. Basically, you're going out to other planets, trying to actually make alliances with, like, different, like, races, isn't that? Different, like, governments, different colonies, trying to become friends with them, and why others you end up becoming enemies with after you become friends with them. Basically, in this story, I imagine you'd be trying to rebuild the Milky Way. Trying to find a way to rebuild the Mass Effect, like, mass relays, basically. I imagine you would actually be able to rebuild them, but you basically have to, like, research how to rebuild them, and you'd have to go on, like, quests, jobs, that sort of thing. And you'd have to help certain people, and, like, the certain people you help will actually help advance, like, colonies you have set up, or help advance other races, or even help, like, cure, like, diseases and that. Hell, I imagine they would actually add a mission into this where, like, one, like, group of, let's say there's this one group of Asari who actually started making AI, and there's another group on the same planet who wants to destroy the AI. I imagine, and they would make it so you have the choice to actually make it so the AI has a right to basically be alive, or you can side with the one group and basically destroy the AI, pissing off the other group, and basically kicking them off the world, or having them arrested, or just straight up killing them. Or you can side with the one group and basically make it so they make AIs. Some that would help, but I imagine, like, some of them would actually probably screw over the planet. Now you might be wondering, Scully, what would happen if you did side with the people with the AIs? Well, I imagine two missions would pop up. One where you find out one of the AIs is trying to contact you to help get you the help to stop like another AI from like killing people. Oh, let's say it's like a AI that has a few glitches. I actually think that mission would be pretty cool. But anyways, I imagine the game would be about like rebuilding. You're trying to rebuild. You're trying to basically make it so the galaxy has peace. I imagine Renegade and Paragon would be back, or hell, even something in between. Like let's say a Renegade would pop up during like moments where you want to be like a badass or like basically somebody who's like a complete jerk. And Paragon is where it's like you want to be a hero. Oh, but let's say the Impulse thing from Mass Effect Andromeda is in the game as well. Basically, Impulse would happen during, let's say that you aren't part of the Alliance or any military, and you're part of like a group trying to help rebuild the Milky Way. You would have an Impulse-like ability. It'll be like Paragon and Renegade, but it'll be different. You would still have Paragon and Renegade popping up, but after you click Paragon or Renegade, you get like an Impulse moment during like, let's say that you punch somebody, and they basically went to actually pull like a gun out on you. Then Impulse pops up. The Impulse would make it so you grab the gun from them and end up shooting them. Now let's say if you don't do that, basically they would pull the gun on you, start yelling or like other stuff, to which you would get another like Impulse or like something else, or one of your squad mates would actually kill the person. Yeah, I know that part wasn't thought out, but I do think that, well, this third thing, the next Mass Effect game would actually have like you rebuilding the Milky Way, basically trying to anyways. Maybe you'll even like have like a little Easter egg where you get like a satellite sent to like the Milky Way, and then you get in contact with people from the Andromeda galaxy. Hey, maybe the satellite will have remnant tech, and you would actually have the choice to either study it and basically take it apart, or use it to stay in contact with people from the Andromeda galaxy, and try to see if you can't like find a way to make a mass relay that travels there. Now, I imagine there would be like a mission for that, and basically you would not actually travel to the like Andromeda galaxy, but you would actually be able to send some schematics to them that would make it so they could build like a mass relay on their end. And let's say there's a mission where you test it, and they send like a cargo like a ship through, and basically it actually makes it through. So I imagine there would be more testing, and basically they would not be willing to test on people right away. But I imagine that could actually make room for like a DLC later on, where like the new character would be fighting the Ket or even the Remnant themselves. Like, I mean like the Remnant like race. Hell, it'd even make it so there's room to add like new alien species that are coming to the Milky Way in that. But yeah, that was my third idea for what can happen for the story. My fourth idea, and this is the final one, is basically the next game would be taking part in both universes, like in the Milky Way and the Andromeda galaxy. So you might be wondering, Scully, do you think we'd be playing as Ryder or somebody new? I think we would actually have a choice. Yes, I think the first choice would be to play as Ryder, basically import saves, or if you're playing as somebody new, you would still import saves from the remastered trilogy and also from the Andromeda game. Basically, the choices you made in Andromeda would appear in the next game, including basically choices from the remastered trilogy, the Legendary Edition, I guess I should call it. I imagine basically you would actually have like the choice to be Ryder again. You're basically fighting the Ket while also heading back to the Milky Way galaxy, trying to actually help people out down there as well. Because let's say that they're still rebuilding and there's like a fighting amongst people in different areas, and like they don't have like a proper council picked out yet, but you have a council picked out in the Andromeda galaxy, and you basically have to try to help them make a council, or make it so that they answer to the council in the Andromeda galaxy, probably. But that's pretty much it for that little thing. I do think that they could also make it so that if you do make it so you're like a new character, I think they should make it so you can play as like one of the alien races, at least one of the ones that are humanoid. Because I don't think you'll be able to play as like a Hanar or what was that one other race called? The big guys on all fours. Fuck, I forgot their names. I haven't played the Master Trilogy in a long time. Elcor. I think it's the name, Elcor. But, yeah, goblins, that's pretty much it. I think the third one would be, like, the most logical one to go with. I know it wouldn't add, like, a big bad guy into it, but think about it. You're trying to help rebuild, like, the Milky Way universe. You're basically trying to avert, like, catastrophes. You're trying to avert, like, civil war and that. Hell, maybe a war could actually break out and you could actually take part in some battles. Kind of like how, like, in Mass Effect Andromeda, you can come across the Collector group and, like, the Outlaw groups, basically warring against each other. Or, like, little skirmishes. And let's say, like, when you join in, like, a battle like that, it would actually affect your reputation. But, yeah, goblins, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I know, I didn't, like, really talk about, like, the stuff that good, but let me know down in the comments below what you goblins would have picked, and what you goblins would have done instead. Me, personally, I still think the third option would be, like, the best option. However, if people want to have, like, an enemy to fight, then add one. Make it so there's a big bad guy. Make it so you have to try to, like, rebuild the universe, prevent civil wars, but make it so there's, like, somebody else who wants there to be war. Like, they're making weapons, they're making guns, they're trying to take over certain colonies, basically make it so everybody's, like, war baron. Hell, maybe it could be, like, a Krogan overlord, like this one who is believed to be dead, only to return and basically want to bring war to the entire galaxy, get revenge on that.
Us. Damn, I hope they're allies.
But, yeah, goblins, that's pretty much it for this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button too, and go check out other people's talk videos. A lot of their stories are a lot better than mine. I only managed to think out, like, 2 of them. The other 2 I just threw together on the go, but yeah, goblins, that's pretty much it. So, without further ado, to my fellow goblins out there, may your pockets be full of gold, may your looting be plentiful, and may you always have a village or a kingdom nearby that you can loot and plunder to your heart's content. But without further ado, I'm Scully the Goblin. This was what I think will be the story for the next Mass Effect game. Peace out, and goodbye.